episode 242 for them. And save the drama for your mama. Let's get into it. So they started off the episode with Teeny and Rob, how they left it off with Teeny fighting Rob mama and Rob in the middle and they on the ground and his mama like kicking Teeny and Teeny like, who are you kicking, B? Who are you kicking? And I'm just like, oh my God. And then they split them up and his mama yelling, she leaving, she talking about how Teeny wouldn't make it without her son and how she all type of gremlins and stuff like that. And then Teeny talking about how his mama's just so angry and she was cute with her makeup is cute before his mom got there. And her daughter was trying to calm her down. She was like, Mom, but like she never seen her mom fight before. And Teeny was just like, she never wants to be around her. She never wants to be around her. And she doesn't know what that's going to do for her and Rob's relationship, but she don't want nothing to do with his mama. So I'm like, and then he went chasing his mama, and his mama was like, how Teeny don't want him taking care of her, and she got in her car, and she was like, you'll never see me again, and she just left, and he just standing outside like, this was supposed to be my coming home party, and I'm like, I feel so bad for him. Dang. Then they went over to Justine and Michael, and they was at home now, but they was still arguing over the vasectomy still. And Michael said he's not getting it, and why can't she just get an IUD or get her tubes tied or something? Because who knows, he might be 70 and God might bless him with a baby. And then Justine is like, from who? Because my tubes are gonna be tied. And I'm like, exactly. Exactly. And then she was like, if it was your health at risk, I would cut off my arm, leg, limb, anything to like make sure you were safe. But you can't get this little snip snip for me to make sure that my life is not in danger because I can't have any more kids or I might die. And he like, yeah, I don't care if you're mad at me, but I'm not finna snip my balls and then my member just doesn't work anymore. And she's like, that's not how it works. But he's like, you don't even know how to get your own tube tied. So yeah, I'm like, that's a lot. I feel like he should go ahead and get it done because he also has other kids and other relationships outside of her. So it's like, when she said that, it's like, how many more kids do you want? And who are you going to have these by? That's the real question. So they give us Louie and Melissa, and I'm like, okay, I miss them. Like, okay, they're coming back. They going to the beach in the winter to get in the water and into the ocean. So I'm kind of confused. Um, but yeah, I guess they're doing like the cold plunge, so I'm not that confused. I guess I get it. But he want Melissa to do it to show that she love him. But I'm like, she done so much to show that she love you. Like, come on now. But they run in, they don't get all the way in, they just get like to the waist, and then they like, Louise even like, skip it, let's get out. And so after they get out, she's like, well, I think I deserve a ring. And he's like, how's my hair? And I'm like, what? And she's like, and he's like, that's important. Then they get to the car and he gets some hot chocolate and she's like, where's my ring? And he's like, you need to be patient, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be together, you know? And she's like, I'm the only one here waiting in this relationship. Like, I had to wait for you to get out of jail. I had to wait for you to come up here. I'm waiting on my ring. Like, I'm the only one waiting here. And then he get on there and tell us that he's been saving up for her ring, you know, but he don't want her to know about it. And then he told her that he's, you know, saving for their future to get a house. And he's never had money because he spent it on drugs before. And yeah. So I guess he handed her the ring overall. She just need to be a little bit more patient, as he trying to tell her. But yeah. Then they go over to Daniel and what's her name? Bianca. And she's taking him to his parole in the morning and they're gonna be late, but she has to do her makeup, so okay. And when they get to the parole office, she tries to go in, but they don't let her in. You know, they ain't let her in. So she's like nervous because she wanted to prove to the parole officer that she, you know, she's a good person. Daniel should be able to parole out to her house, and you know, all is well because you know she don't know what she's gonna be able to do if her man is not able to parole off to her house. But then she tried to make it seem like he can't parole out to the halfway house because the environment might make him relapse. But it's like, girl, your environment might make him relapse. Like, Did you not just say you're not gonna stop drinking? You're gonna be coming home drunk and all type of stuff. So what makes your environment any better? Just because you there putting it on them? Okay. But yeah, I'm just like, y'all could just be so entitled. And then they were still arguing over the coffee. And I'm just like, I mean, I get her point. You know what I mean? Like, she really didn't spend all this money on him to move across the world. So at least he can pour her a cup of coffee. But then it's like, you are an adult. And when you realize, like, the man ain't going to pour you the cup of coffee, he made the breakfast. Meet him halfway. Pour your own cup of coffee. Like, why is this, like, a huge thing? I'm hearing about this 2 weeks over a cup of coffee. Like, yeah. She be irking me because it'd be like the entitlement. I mean, I understand, but like the way she be going about it, be like, girl. So they give us Drea and Troy, and Troy's walking down the street. He called his friend to come get him, and Zaria is mad driving around because she's like, well, I don't know where she's going honestly, but she's in the car telling us that she was just trying to talk to her best friend and tell him what was going on, and she did not expect him to leave, and it's messed up basically, and yeah. And I'm just like, girl, why would you wait till the last minute to tell him? And now you're trying to flip it around and be the victim. Like, you don't stress this man out. Like, she should not have waited till the last minute. So his friend get there, and he just telling his friend that he knew since he was like 11. How he just tired of his wife hiding stuff from him. And there's a Ray in the car telling us how she's scared that he's gonna cheat on her because she cheated on him. And they talk about it all the time. And I'm like, why are y'all talking about that all the time? But anyways, he was over there telling his friend, they sitting on a bench somewhere talking, and he telling, but the thing is why is he telling the cameras, like, he not on an ankle monitor and on parole and probation or whatever, that he thinking about doing something illegal for a good cause because he feel like in the streets he can make fast money, like $900 an hour with his eyes closed. And I'm just over here like, why is he saying all this on TV? Like, what? Like, you do know your parole officer can just watch what I'm watching, right? Like, huh? But I really hope he don't do nothing illegal. Like, you can make $900 an hour in a business too. So keep going. You know, it's tough at first, but when you get there, you get there. You know. So like you said, the streets is money. I mean, the streets is business. Then they went over to Brittany and Key Rock, and they were, you know, hanging up with the parole officer, and he was mad because he was saying he know what government assistant looks like. So, you know, Brittany was saying, let's just go check it out. So they pull out to the motel, and then Brittany started telling us how she was like homeless when she was like a teenager, and she used to go to motels sometimes, and this is like PTSD for her, and it's really sad, and it brings depression to her and stuff like that. So I'm like, dang, I'm sorry, Brittany, for real. But they got there. She was like, they just need some cleaning. They was looking for the bed bugs. And now Key Rock got to tell his mom because his mom was going with him to Texas. But first they had to call the landlord in Texas to see if they can get like their money back and stuff. And the girl was like, no. But they did tell us how hard it is to get like an apartment as a felon, period. So this apartment was like, look, like they talked to them and built a rapport. So these people was like giving them a chance. So they really not trying to like mess up this chance, you know what I mean? But the people was like, yeah, no, if you can't make it, we're holding this for y'all, so y'all ain't getting none of the money back. The deposit, the first month's rent, none of it. So I'm like, dang. So Key Rock was like, he feel like the world is just against him. And Brittany was like, your mom is over there packing, like, you can't wait till the last minute, you gotta tell her, like. So he was like, are you gonna stand in between us if she try to hit me? She was like, no. He's like, that's why I don't want to tell her. But he did say he has the best mom ever, you know. It's just a little edge to her. But he felt bad. He felt like he let his mom down because she was moving all the way to Texas for him, to be close to him, and Texas denied both of them. So, I mean, they doing the appeal, you know, and stuff, and I hope it works out, honestly. They just want a fresh start, so,